Welcome back to Bee Loft by LipTech. Today's Thursday, July 3rd, and we're here at the mechanic apiary. The bees are back over here. This is the first time coming on the back side here. We're using their Kubota tractor here, or Kubota off-road vehicle. It's got nice air conditioning, so it'll be great when we're done pulling honey. You can see the bees flying over top here. You really can't see the hives because they're behind all this jungle. We're going to walk through here and weed eat a little bit and clear them out, and then we're going to pull our honey and stack them on the cart here. So stay tuned and we'll get to the bees. All right, so about to get in the hives here. Got my smoker ready. Had to cut down the brush back here. As you can see, we weeded this whole area back here. You can see how it's well hidden. I kind of like how it grew up over this. Makes the bees fly up and over so it doesn't bother the neighbors here. I did forget to mention that it is 85 degrees or 86 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius. So it's a pretty hot day. So we're going to try not to be here all day. But we're just going to quickly look into this hive. Let me grab my stuff here, move it over. I don't think we're going to get any honey from this one. This was the small hive that flipped over that we've been nursing for a while. Have Jordan come through here. And you can see how active these bees are, flying in and out. Cleared all this brush out in front of them. So that will help them get to the hive. So she can come back on this back side here now. Let's pop this open real quick. Got some brambles here. I'm going to have to get out of the way. Pop, and we'll see how this hive is doing. They were, like I said, this is the one, the 5-framer that was 4 tall, so 20 frames. They still have 20 frames, but they were severely weakened when half the hive got lost. Here's a little pollen right here on this bee here. Let's see if we got any brood up here. It's nice to see them bringing in pollen. Oh yeah, we got a little bit of brood right there and nectar. So this hive's looking pretty good. Let's go to the next frame. They still got some empty frames on the outside, so I'm probably going to have to bring a feeder out here. But I only have deep feeders, so I either have to put a deep box with these bees. They haven't drawn this at all. I might have to re-wax some of these frames out here. Looks like they're way out here on the outside, some bees. Let's look at that real quick. That looks like a shallow frame, but they're working it, so I'm going to leave it in here. Put these. Let's look at this next frame real quick, and then we're going to look at the bottom box just to see how they're growing. Yeah, they're starting to backfill, but we got brood and nectar up here. So the sooner I get to extracting, the frames that we took off the other day, they weren't at proper moisture. Some were at 17, some were at 20. So I got them in a closet at home. And I got a dehumidifier in there with a fan blowing on top of them, all 10 boxes. And we're gonna hopefully get to extracting tomorrow, or Saturday. I'm trying to pull the honey off of here and see if we have to dehydrate this honey, get the moisture content right, because anything above 18% they say will ferment. Haven't had that issue because I've always gone below the recommended threshold. Let's get this frame out here. Oh yeah, so this queen is kind of weak. I'd like to see a better brood pattern than what I'm seeing here. It's pretty sparse. So we might need to get a new queen in here. Oh no, here's a good side. So yeah, we are doing okay. I get a little worried sometimes when they're a little spotty like that. Like I said, this is at least a 2-year-old queen. Give these bees a little smoke. Oh, I can see brood all the way over to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames. Let's just go over to that frame real quick. Looks pretty good. So let's pull that out. Oh yeah, there we go. There's some good brood. And like I said, they're starting to backfill. So, but just nursing this one along. I'm not too concerned. But I will, when I get closer to winter, make sure I might give them a pollen patty. I don't see any beetles floating around today. Usually they crawl as soon as you open them up. You set that down there. We're just going to put this back together and move on to the next hive. I did mark this queen as green queen from last year. So I do want to replace her next year for sure. But I have trouble purposely killing queens because they're so precious to get. You don't always get a successful requeening when you put cells in, or virgin queen, or even if you have a mated queen. Sometimes the bees just don't like her, and they dispatch her, and that's that didn't go right. There we go. So, all right, there we go. That was why I lost it the last time. I didn't have a strap on it. This is a little lower, so this might need extra box. Look at all the bees in there. And the lid, I don't have my normal screen on. I did have a lot of ants on the hive at the garden hive that we looked at 2 days ago. And like I said, I might start leaving it open like this just because I like how they're protecting the top. Give them a little smoke. We'll see how packed this is. It looks pretty packed. I do have a box of shallow frames that I might stick on top of here just to help these bees get a little more room. I don't see any beetles. I'm looking for the queen. Jordan's on camera here today. I don't think she sees the queen. She's usually pretty good spotting the queen. So we're just going to set that off to the side here. But look how packed these bees are. So I would say that these bees are ready, definitely ready for another box. Whether I put a deep box on here or the shallow, they need a little more room. Probably just put the shallow since it's already drawn comb. Look at that, a nice brood pattern. But they're backfilling that with nectar. Same thing over here. So yeah, they definitely need another box. I'm not going to worry about finding the queen. We're just going to close this up. Maybe we'll get that other box. You can go ahead and pause it, Jordan. Okay, so I got our shallow box here. I'm just going to slide right on top. Try not to squish any bees. And that will give them that much extra room to expand up into. And then I'm going to just shake these bees down in here. Put our inner cover back on. Gonna have to be careful about these bees. There we go. All right, now we can get to pulling honey here. So let me grab that spray. Forgot I had an extra bottle of spray from last year that's still got a little left in it. This, like I said, it smells like wild cherries. All right, so I sprayed that on there. Made a mistake the other day of not fully checking the frames, and I did bring home some partial frame of brood. I wasn't too thrilled with that, so throw that down there. I don't recommend putting the concrete blocks on the top because you can see how this one rusted. The ones, when it has concrete on them, they seem to want to rust. So I don't know why. But again, this is one of those Hoover hives. So the material isn't the best. Their wax dipping process, I should say, isn't the best. I don't know about the material. might be okay. But I had some rot on the bottom boards specifically that I replaced this year. And I really like the boxes I got from Nature's Image. Let's see what's going on here. Put that off to the side. I didn't see any beetles or anything on it. This is pretty empty up top here. This is a medium. Let's pop this up. See what's going on here. We got some bees. And they're really not a lot of nectar or anything in here. So I'm just going to pull this box off. And we're probably just going to put it right back on. This is a box with 3 deeps. So I'll just set that off to the side. And we're going to check these deeps here. Let me get my frame rest. And we're going to see what we got here. Is that one coming apart? That one might be coming apart. I'm not going to pull that one. Yeah, that came apart. That's not good. Any frames that I have left over this winter, I'm going to need to re-examine them and make sure all the nails are in tight. So, yeah, we got some capped honey here. So, probably just going to pull a couple frames, drive these bees down. Let me see if I can get this frame out without messing it up too much. There we go. Yeah, there we are. Let's see if I can put that back together. Nope, they got some comb drawn up here. That's going to make it hard to put back together. But they don't have that much honey in here for what I was expecting. Let's see if I can put that back down. But let's drive these bees down and put this back on here. Nope, just got to be, unfortunately. There we go. Put this paper towels on top. So I did it the other day. The bees don't like that smell. We're going to push those down. We're going to move over to this other hive while we're doing that. Do the same thing to this paper towel.
You just stung the camera here.
Oh, nice. Jordan said a bee stung the camera. All right, so I'm going to put that there. That really stayed glued on there. Drop that down there. Let's see how this hive looks. All right, for some reason they're not drawn. I don't see any beetles on that. Again, we have another medium frame that is not drawn at all. We're probably going to take that home with us. Unless they need the room here. I'm going to put this on top here. Drive these bees down a little bit. It's not looking too good for honey over here. Hopefully this box here will have lots of honey. So we're just going to go ahead and pause you for a moment and we'll come back to you shortly. Okay, so far we're not having too much luck. There's no honey and the bees are struggling. I think we might be able to get a deep off of here. And then we're about to get into these nuc hives. And look at all these ants. They made a nice nest on this side. I'm just going to brush those off. Again, like I said, I think I'm going to open up the top. Like you can see, this one here is open and there's no ants on that side, except for the ones that just crawled over. So, but last time we were here, this hive here did not have a queen. We had taken the queen from here and brought her over and placed her over there. Start a new hive. So let's give these bees a little smoke, and hopefully we can find some larvae in here that's not ant related. Brush all these ants off. There's so many of them. Whew, lots of ants. So let's pop this off. Be careful how I do this because I don't do a very good job of putting these together. All right, I'm not seeing a lot of bees in here, so it makes me think that it did not requeen, which would be pretty disappointing, especially if it's laying worker. Yeah, there's some nectar up here, but there's not a lot of bees. So I don't know what happened to this bee yard. If something got sprayed. The one hive looks like it had a bunch of swarm cells. It might have swarmed on us. Yeah, the bees really aren't doing anything here. So this is getting a little disappointing out here, but that's part of beekeeping. It's full of joys and occasional disappointments. Let's pop this off. Oh boy, it's got some weight on the one frame. I can feel it on the outside. Let's see what we got going on here. Feels like I had a bee in my sleeve. I don't know how it got in there. Had a bee in my veil a little bit ago. Yeah, there's nothing here. Yeah, this hive might be a goner. We might have to do a combine. It might be getting robbed out. I should have come back sooner to check on it. I just didn't have time. There were some queen cells there, but looks like this one is out of luck. Yeah, a lot of nectar there, some honey. So check one more. This hive should be full of bees, and it's not. So, oh, there it is. We got brood. So there's a queen in here somewhere. It's a full frame of brood. So there's a queen in here somewhere. So I'm going to put this back together, and whew, yeah, I am not out of luck. Woohoo! So I'm going to switch frames here. This one's not drawn that well. I'm going to give it. Let's give it this one. I'm going to give it this one. It's got better comb. Drop that one in there. I can put this back on top. And was this all drawn? Oh, this one was partial. Let me check this one again. Yeah, I don't like how that's on that one side, but I'm going to let that go. I don't think I have good enough frames to fix that. Brush more of these ants off. Said I think I'm going to open up this so the bees can get up here. Let's check this side. Whew. Again, not a lot of bees up here. And this was a good hive before. I almost moved it into a 10 frame box. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, it's a heavy frame. Lots of nectar. Good amount of honey. They really propolize this in here well. Yep, we had some cells. It's empty. So we had some queen cups. So it's full of nectar. So this hive might have swarmed too. That's what happens when you don't give them enough room and don't come back. Well, let's go down a frame. In their box, I should say. That's heavy. That's got some good honey in it. It's not all capped though. Let's see what I got going on this side. Dang it. Their frame came apart. I don't know if I can grab that without losing half of it. There we go. Oh yeah. We got some brood here, but it looks like it could be worker brood. Means laying worker, which would not be good. Set this over here, and hopefully I can do it without dropping the frame. The propolis stays on there. This might have gone laying worker on me, which in that case we might do a combine. Yeah, it looks like all those cells are raised up, so that means we have laying workers. You can see that there. Those are extended, not your standard drone cells. Be careful here, pushing that out. I knew I should have put this into a 10 frame box and try to requeen it, but let's see what we got here. And they're just filling that with nectar. So, well, let's close this up. For the moment, finish getting this box off over here, and then we can worry about what's going on with these hives All right, let's go back over here and close this up. So we're going to pull these towels off of here, and we're going to check the honey real quick. Put this back on. Oh, dropped my towels. Oh yeah, here's our box of honey. So we're going to take this box off. It's going to be a heavy one. Oh yeah. Go ahead and pause it, Jordan. I need to move past you. Okay, so we're wrapping things up here out at the mechanic apiary. A little disappointed we only got one box of honey out of these 3 hives. I figured we'd get at least 2 mediums, maybe 3, and probably 2 deeps, but that wasn't the case. So we got a queen laying in here, which is great. We have laying workers on the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine these hives. Jordan and I are going to wrap this up. We'll take the 10 best frames out of this side, put them all on the bottom, and then put newspaper down. And on the other side, shake all the bees out, take their 10 best frames, put that on the top in the top box, and just leave that hive right here. So thanks you for watching Bee Loft by LipTac. We'll see you on the next video. Thank you.